Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dyslexic Developer Hello Drunk World. Okay, I can never remember what it's meant to be called. But yeah, so back again. Gonna start digging a little bit more into some previous topics I had. I like the new sign, it shows that I'm on air. Thanks to the wonderful Mrs. Dyslexic Developer for providing that. So we'll kick off our ceremonious drink. I ran out of red wine, so we don't have red wine for this session, but I think I've got, not the next best thing, but I got alcohol, so we're having a little bit of Guinness. Very fitting, I guess. So the ASMR for this is going to be a little bit interesting because it's so loud. Ooh, I almost spilt it all over. Hopefully you can hear that. And if you're joining, don't forget to say hi in the chat. Give me some sort of reassurance that people are actually watching. I'll say hello myself. Oh, I can already not type. So, on today's stream, I'm going to actually kind of go back a little bit to tech that I'd done in a previous stream. God knows how long ago. Probably could have looked that up myself, but I didn't. I'm going to be looking at Recoil JS again. So if you're not unfamiliar, Recoil is a state management library for React. And in the session I did with it before, I built a small application using Recoil to just kind of test out its viability, and it was like a little house where you could turn off and on the lights and all that kind of stuff. You see me look outside, it's where I keep my chat window open. So I built a little example of a house, and you could turn the lights off and on in the house, and I was kind of just testing out like feasibility of it. What was it like? I quite liked it. I never really kind of touched upon it since, but in work at the minute we're actually trying to replace a very, very old, now defunct, dead, deprecated, like unmaintained state management library, alt.js. We're trying to replace that with Recoil. Recoil, now that it says it's experimental. I think it's just they don't want to commit to supporting it or building a community around it. But I've been kind of building that out and starting to use it, and it's really good. I really like it, but frustratingly, like, you have the React dev tools so you can inspect state in your applications. Recoil, there's like 2 Chrome plugin dev tools that I was able to find. Both don't work. Both look like they're kind of dead in the water and unmaintained. So that kind of sucks. I was like, right, I'm going to have to do something because I need to be able to see the state of my atoms in Recoil. So I kind of was thinking about building my own and kind of demoed it to the team. They commented on like, different features I could have had in it. And I thought maybe I could build a dev tool for this. Now, I'm not going to go to the full extent of building a Chrome plugin for this, but I'm going to build a dev tool that you could drop into your application and inspect at different times what's going on. So let's jump right into it. So I've got a couple of resources open that we're going to be using throughout this. So obviously we're going to be using Recoil. I want to build this like little UI modal for it. So I was like, right, I'm going to jump in and try Material UI, which I think this is Material UI. This is the latest version of it. And then kind of ideas around it, I'm going to be trying out JSON diff as a way to kind of show the state changes over time. So first things first, we need to kind of build the application that we're going to put Recoil into. So I'll keep the Recoil docs up. So we're going to build an application. We'll use Recoil in. Then inside of that, we'll build out our dev tools. And eventually, like, my plan is to be able to extract the dev tools out into its own package that you can install and run in your code base. So first things we need to do is create our like example project. So we're going to do npx create -react -app at latest, and then we're going to have to probably give this a name. Oh, I was meant to give them the name as part of it. So we're going to say recoil -dev tools. Let this go through. Probably should have done this beforehand so we don't have to watch npm install. But while we're doing this, I'm going to pull up the docs of Recoil so I can kind of refresh my head about how I can get this going. And we'll build out like a little small example that has like different bits of state or whatever. And we can flesh it actually. We'll flesh it out as we build the DevTools. And somewhere here. So let me get started here. Thanks for the follow, Doggram. Hopefully you can get to see me do something and not watch an npm install. So as well as this, we're going to pull in Material UI. I want to look at the components, and we're going to need a modal, if there is one. Yep, there's a modal. I think we're going to need a modal. We're going to need a button as well. So we'll grab a button. We're probably going to need a list and then a table. So we have table. We have other stuff in here that we might pull in, try out and use. But we'll get going with that once this install goes through. So if anyone joined at the minute, so what we're doing for building out our own kind of in-product dev tool to work with Recoil.js to be able to like see the state of what our atoms look like and different changes to them and stuff. Anyone else get this when they do like an npm install? Like, I don't know what's up with my machine, but I get all this kind of stuff. Unsupported engine. Oh, I'm not in the right window. If I go node -v, I'm on node version 16, so it should be alright. So let's clear this. cd into Recoil DevTools, and it's ls here. So first I want to install a few different things. So first we need to install Recoil. So we're going to grab this, npm I Recoil. I also want styled components, just because I think I might need it. If I'm using Material UI, I might not. And we need to install a number of different things. This. Or if you want to use style components as a styling engine, you can do this. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll grab these. Then we'll probably just install this JSON diff as well while we're at it. So we'll run this, and we'll kind of let that run through. So we'll kind of chat about how Recoil uses this idea of like atoms, and I think there's a state management pattern. If you think about like Redux has a pattern, and Flux is another pattern that people don't use as much anymore. So we'll clear this out. We'll open up VS Code. So let's open up VS Code and see what our source looks like. So actually, we're probably going to want to start this as well. npm start. So that has started successfully, and I need to go to localhost 3000. So it gets us your standard React. I'm going to rip some of this stuff because I hate the defaults they put in. So let's go to the app, and I don't want that logo. We can keep apps, CSS, get rid of that, save. So we don't want this either. We'll just call this Recoil Dev Tools. Save that. Okay, that's grand. And the trick with Guinness is you draw the liquid through the head of the Guinness, so you can kind of see poured out quite well and came out in a nice little form factor. It should be advertising Guinness. So let's do our basic recoil example. So we need to get a recoil root. And I'm going to stick this on our index because I wanted the very top level of our application. Index.js. And if you see some crazy, how good was that? So you see some crazy comments up here. I've got GitHub Copilot running at the same time as well, which gives me some really cool auto completion. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really, really shit. But it's kind of cool that I knew I was going to do that. All I can think is maybe could it check my clipboard? I don't know, but I knew I was going to pull that in. So then we can say Recoil root. So we wrap our application in this Recoil like root provider, which is what I assume it is. And if we go into our app, we want to create we're going to do this counter example. So first we need to create a folder for our atoms. So we can do atoms.js, and in here we're going to say import atom from Recoil const counter state. How good is that? Yeah, it's diagram. So this is a GitHub Copilot. Copilot. It's really, really cool. I don't know if the beta is closed yet, but you can sign up. There's a waiting list. Okay, I don't know how or when I got through the waiting list, but you can kind of do really cool stuff. So like, if I write a function, if I do fetch user data and then go next, yeah, it's not correcting it properly. But you can like tell to autocomplete loads of stuff. But I think like the beauty was I was able to say counter state. It knew that the key was going to be counter state and the default was going to be 0. Interesting to put in those comments. It's obviously pulled this potentially from the Recoil repo itself or some random example. I would never put these comments in because they're just defining a third-party API that doesn't really matter. So I can do export, nope, not expect, export counter state. So let's create a component for our counter. So we're going to say counter.js. And here we're going to say, well, actually we're on the higher version of React, so we don't need to import React, so we can just do counter. And it's going to be, is it going to pick it up yet? Nah, we'll just do return. So we'll have our span, and this will be like our actual value, and then we're going to have a button, and it's going to be our plus, and we'll have a minus. So that obviously doesn't do anything at the minute, so we want to wire this up to use Recoil. So get rid of our project folder. So we'll pull up Recoil docs again, just in case we need to check in on them. So we can say import, and I think it's use Recoil state. And we also want to say import counter state. So then we can say const count set count use count. Oh, how good is that? So now this becomes count, but we need to add on clicks to these. So because I'm pedantic, I have to have everything on correct lines. I guess I could, no, the auto format won't work for me. And we pull that in. So then, right, we need a, I could do them in line, but actually I'll create functions. So I can say const increment set count plus 1, const increment. I guess Copilot's really good if you're drunk because you don't actually write any code yourself. then we can say on click equals increment. We'll just copy this line and do the same for here, but instead of increment, it's going to be decrement. Yeah, decrement. So we save this, but we haven't exported it. So we're going to do export default counter, and then in our app.js, we're going to say counter, and it doesn't take children, so it's a self-closing component. Let's jump back here, and it didn't work. Counter, return span. Okay, stick a H3 in here just so I can see. Maybe the text is hidden. Okay, we're falling at the very, very first and easy hurdle. Counter const function returns JSX. It's got its hook. It's got everything. What the fuck? What have I done? Let's restart. Okay. We have no errors in the console. Let's go to our components. Yeah, we have counter. Oh, fuck me, the counter's off the page. So this is what you get when you have the default styles that come with Create React App, the header. Why? So background color, min height 100 feet. Maybe, well, am I sticking everything inside the header? I think for just the sake of getting this done, yeah, we'll just bung everything inside the header. I wouldn't obviously put everything inside of a header element, but I think I can just change this to a div. Yeah, I can just change the div and then it appears. That would have been funny if I failed the entire project because I didn't scroll page to see what was going on. I don't think I want it vertically centered. We're going to just add padding top of like 100 pixels. Yeah, okay, that looks fine. So I don't really care how this is just our demo app that we're going to build our dev tools into. But we can see, you know, we can increment, we can decrement, go minus, go plus plus plus. So that is working. And as you can see, like it's using this recoil value that is an internal state. So we can perfect example, we can have multiple of these counters and they will all feed off the same value, as you can see here. So bringing this down brings that one down. And this is where actually we can kind of think about as well, like Recoil has this concept of selectors. So I know I named this atoms, but we could probably just fire everything in here. No, we'll create a selectors file. So selectors.js import selector from Recoil, and we're going to say const count total. We'll do count state. That's the selector, has a key, the get method. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah. So we really get our count display, and then we have to export it. So that's fine. And if we create another component, new file, and we'll say count display .js, and so in here we're going to say import, and it's use recoil value, is what we need, because we're not going to mutate the state, we're just going to use the value from the state. And we can import our count selector, counter state. They're both named the same, so I want to rename this to be counter display value. So I'm calling things very similar names, which is not gonna do well later on. And go back to our component. So let's do this, and from here I can say const counter display. Oh, how good is that auto completion? Let's see, display. So let's refresh. Oh, we need to export it and actually use it. So export. Oh yes, actually export default. That's correct. Go back to our app. And if you have any questions along the way, like, you know, what am I doing, how am I doing things, and shout out. I know I'm going to be typing quick. I want to get the example and then get into the dev tools. So I'm going to say counter display. No counter state value. Where is that coming from? Selectors counter. Okay. I need to import that. So with the selector, you import the atom and you use the atom. Recoil has a circular dependency. Counter state comes from there. So we're getting that. We're exporting counter state value. You know what? Fuck it. We're just going to fire this into the atoms and just do everything from the atoms file. Make it easier. So we can get rid of this file. And this is, so this is going to be from atoms, and this has to be exported, and selector has to be imported. How are we getting into a fucking circular dependency and we're not even doing much? So, oh, they're both named the same, I think. Okay, so the name actually is important. I knew it was there for a reason. So if we go back to counter, we can get rid of this title. So in here, when we add this up, change this. So very obtuse example, whatever. So what we want to do now is think about how we build out our dev tools. So first what we actually do is like grab the dev tools guides. Yep, dev tools. So thankfully they give us some sort of API that we can talk to things. So let's create our dev tool component. So new file dev tool.js, and this is going to just be a React component that we can work with because it has to like grab the hooks and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to say const dev tool equals, and for now we're just going to do return null. So we don't want to return anything yet. So we need to start pulling in some of the dev tool hooks that are provided by Recoil. First, need another sip of our beautiful Guinness. I don't know why since I drank this stuff, it's a bit tart, but so here's this hook that we can take advantage of. So we can say import from Recoil. And then we're just going to copy and paste this code in and then kind of modify it as we go. Why would I write it from scratch? We also need to bring in our use effect from React. yeah, so we grab the snapshot, and the snapshot hook will trigger and re-render every time any atom has changed. So you can also do time travel and stuff. This can be really interesting. I think we're just going to be able to, we want to just view the stuff for now. I don't want to be here all day. So we get our snapshot, and then we have an effect. And what we're saying is every time the snapshot changes, so that means anytime a atom changes, the snapshot will change and it will run our effect. So it's going to say the following were modified, and we can then say snapshot get the nodes, which is our atoms, and we get the ones that have been modified, which is kind of good, so we're not kind of grabbing them all even if they haven't changed. Then we're going to iterate over those, and we're going to log out the key, which would be this key, and get loadable. So we'll see what get loadable does. If I go into loadable, turns unloadable, and type loadable, can be value loadable, loading loadable, or error loadable. We'll just see what the DevTools gives us. So say export default DevTool. Don't know why we didn't get our own completion for that. And we go back to our app. Well, actually, we'll go to our index, because we want this at the very, very top underneath here. So we say dev tool, save this. If we go back here, so we can half and half this, and I guess zoom in the actual browser itself. And we're in our console. If I add, nothing is showing up. Okay, I need to turn on verbose for debug, which is interesting. So we can see here, so the following are modified, right? We refresh the page. It's interesting, the trigger once saying the following modified, but nothing actually changed. Makes me want to like actually grab this and say changed atoms equals this, and it's iterable, so it should have a length. We say if changed atoms length is equal to 0, then return. Well, returning in an effect. We'll undo that. Greater than 0. I hate putting everything inside of an if statement, but in this case it's going to have to be. Let's fix our style. Okay, so refresh, so it doesn't trigger then, and then we can say okay, that didn't work. So let's go into DevTools and make this a bit bigger. Hopefully that's readable for everyone watching along. So let's stick a breakpoint here, and we can say change atoms. Oh, get scopes 5. It's interesting. This is iterating over. Oh, there is none. So length is undefined. It's weird. Okay, so let's remove that if statement, because I'm not going to spend ages debugging this. And I guess we can say changed atoms becomes this. And we save. And oh, I don't know a breakpoint, so I don't know what this looks like. It's weird that we're doing a 4 of, because it's a generator, maybe? Oh, okay. You can iterate over a generator. Okay, fair enough. We'll stick with that. So we got our key over node, which is that. And we do snapshot, get loadable state. So at least our breakpoint continues on. Okay, so yeah. So you see it went, actually we'll clear this out. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can see the value. So our loadable, our value loadable has state and contents. We're really only interested in contents, I think. So we could potentially clean this up. So we can say contents. Yep, so counter state and the number. So I want to actually do something with this. So I think here we're going to actually add some state. And our state is going to be initially const. We say atoms values. And yes, it's going to be an object, and we're going to use the key of the atom as like the what do you call it? Like the key in the object, and then the value is going to be our history of it. So when we're iterating over these, we're going to do a little bit more here. So we're going to say, let's see, set Adam's value is a good movie as well, yeah. So we're going to say set Adam's values, and we want this to be a function, so we always get the most up-to-date part of it. I'm going to say return. I knew already what I was going for. So now, well, no, because that's just replacing it every time. I want to like build an array, and each item in the array is the point, and what that value was at that point in time. So we're going to say node or empty array. So we're going to say current node dot key. So if we have it, then we're going to say our array is, so we're going to say spread. Our array is this. Spread in, and then yep, snapshot that loadable. So actually this isn't an array, this is what the value is. Now this is getting very, very cumbersome, so we're going to say const latest values equals, and we can put this. Drop this in here. At least we can like put in some new lines and stuff, and then I can kind of talk through what the hell is going on here, because there's a lot going on. So what we're saying is, if our like atoms values object has this key already, then then set the value to be an array, spreading in the current. That could probably go up on the same line. Spreading in the current values, so previous values I had before, then putting in the new value. So like sets our array. We'll see more whenever this comes about. But if it doesn't exist, so this is the first time that atom has changed, then we just create an array with the contents. And I guess let's create some more variables. So we're going to say const contents equals that. So contents, and then we're going to do const Atom key, just to make things a little bit more readable. Let's see. So now this becomes Atom key. And this becomes Atom key. This becomes just contents, and this becomes just contents. Now this gets set in our return. That's a little bit cleaner. So we do that, refresh our page. Current is not iterable. Why is it not editable? Because we need to do current. I think. Yeah, okay, that works. So we go back to our console, clear this out, and we can increment. Everything's still working now. With our old console log's still there. So let's jump into our components, React DevTools, and we go to our DevTool, and we can see it has state, and it has an object with counter state, which is our key, and then this array of what our values are. So we can see that it started off at 1, and then it went to 2, 3, and 4. So we kind of have like a little history of what was going on. We also want to trigger this so I can log this out at some point. So we're gonna create another use effect, and we need to create an event listener handler. So we want to say document dot add event listener, key down, we're missing a bracket somewhere. Oop. What's it complaining about? So that's that. That's that. So this needs curve bracket. Right. So obviously we need to change this code. So we need one listener key, and for me, I'm on a Mac, and I know there's a key that never gets used. So we go to JavaScript key. You can see I was looking at all things, key value. Actually, yeah, we can just do this ourselves. So we can say, grab this, and if I open up the DevTools, go to console, and create an event listener, just does console.log, and it's going to be event.key. So if I do, yes, this is the one I wanted. Actually, it'll be here. So if I do, yeah, it prints it out. So if I grab this, so I want to say if the key equals this, don't care about the control key, and then I want to say, so then we can do something here. Now I think we need to do additional stuff with this, because this isn't, we want this to watch our Atom values. So every time it changes, it recreates this. So I'm going to say remove event listener. So we can say const on key down equals this. I'm going to say return event listener, pass that in. And if this happens, I want to just say console.log atom values. So let's save this, go back to our app, go to our console, refresh. Right, so we can go. I forgot to pass the key down into the event listener. So, and then if I push my special key, we log it out. But it should have been removing it. Let's see. Use effect. Add event listener. Yeah, removing it. So return function. So we. Oh, maybe we define this outside of. So we can say const on key down equals use callback, and that's a function. Well, actually, that becomes our event function. So this is the quirks of React and of effects. You can get these weird states. So created that. Now we can get rid of key down here. And we can make this key down. And that's key down, and we save this, come back to our app, refresh. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit our special key. Yes, so it only logs out once. So the previous case before is every time atoms were changing, it was creating a new, it was adding another event listener on to the DOM instead of like just using the same one. So there's a lot going on here. So like this is potentially where we can, well, maybe start cleaning some stuff up. So I say we create a folder. We'll call this dev tools. Did I click folder? Yeah, create a folder, dev tools, and we're going to drag our dev tool file into it. Now this is probably going to break things. Yes, update imports. Okay, sweet. So I think we're going to create a hook in here. So we're going to say new file. We're going to say use dev tools.js, and we're going to rip out all of this stuff. There's a lot going on. So grab all this, and we're going to say const use dev. And so we're not return. So we return our atom values from our hook. So we can get rid of these consts as well. We don't want to be logging out shitloads of stuff. What are you complaining about now? Our bracket, oh, that doesn't need a curve bracket. And we can say export use DevTools. So now in our actual component, we can get rid of all of this, and we can just say const atom values equals use DevTools. And we need to import that. Import use DevTools. I'm gonna just rip these Right, fire them in here. Yep, so now we moved it to its own custom hook and everything still works. Header special key. Oh, we got a value. So as I said before, I want to actually like display this up on a modal. So let's see how we get Material UI installed. So we've done all that. It was designed for Bodo font in mind, so we'll grab that link, fire it into public. Now if I was doing this properly, I would install this as a dependency, but we're just hacking this together. So links go in the head. We can save that. Don't really care about SVG icons for now. PSH, so you just import it. So let's look at our modal. So yeah, we want a modal and we want to control whether it's open or close. So let's go back to our dev tool and we're going to say import modal, not from .modal. Oh shit, where does it import from? Is it all just at material or at MUI / material / button? So like we're going to be at MUI material / modal. So actually this is the other thing as well. We want to control whether the modal's open or not. Let's go back into our use dev tools and we're going to say show modal, and this will be set show modal, and it's going to be closed by default. We may change that to true. Well, I interact with the thing, and then we're going to return show modal, and when I hit my key, I'm going to do set show modal to be true. So now this also returns show modal. So let's copy pasta some of this code. So we're going to say if not show modal, we return null, else return our modal, and open is going to be the show modal value. On close, we're going to factor in. So we're going to be taking more out of our custom hook. So close modal. Now this doesn't exist, so we're going to have to define it, and it's going to be const close modal equals set show modal to be false. We then need to export this, and on close now is close modal. We'll keep area things in. We need something inside here actually. So h1 hello. So can I find module motion styled? I thought I didn't have to install that. Yeah, we'll just install it to shut this up. So kill this, npm I. When it runs, we'll open up another stout. Guinness call it a beer. I don't call it a beer. Always forget the foam left from the last one. Makes it overflow. So clear and start. Refresh this. Oh, error. Modal is imported as modal but not find a material modal. Oh. Is that right? Oh, we got into infinite loops somehow. Right. This is our modal. Show full source. Modal from MEI material modal. Use dev tools. Oh, okay. That should be equals arrow function. I don't think, well, maybe that was causing an issue. Oh, yep, it was. So we can increment, press the magic key, we get a modal. What the fuck? Where's all our styling? There must be something. I have to give it styles. Okay, so it's very unopinionated, but again, I don't have time to fuck about this shit, so we're going to import box. So I want this to work quick and fast. And then we're going to grab that style block. And then we're going to grab this box. And we don't want typography. Well, maybe we do want typography. Fuck. This is what I hate about these, like component libraries. Like, they make it look like it's so simple and easy on site, but you have to, you know, use a fucking typography component. Why can't I just put a span in there? Why do you have to have a fucking component for typography is not defined? So I need to import that as well. Let's go back and we'll grab that, and sure enough it's not imported. What else are we missing? We don't have buttons in there, so we're alright. So it looks like dog shit. Maybe I'm missing a styling library. Button. It's literally all you need. I doubt it. Where's the styles? Did I miss something? Is that the style sheet? I guess we'll pull in the icons too. Example projects, nope. Templates, nope. Maybe it's just really unopinionated when it comes to the styles. Well, we have stuff. Okay, so we want a list. So let's go back to our dev tool, and we're going to show all the code. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's it. Right, so I think we don't need this button. We just need list and list item. I guess list item text. Fucking hell. List item text. Do we need a divider? Oh no, we don't need a divider. Okay, so close this down. So oh no, we need to see more of that. So it needs to be inside of a list. So yeah, so we've got our atom values, which is an object which we can iterate through. So in here we're going to say, get rid of this typography. I'm going to say Recoil dev tools, and then we're going to say atom values. Well, object dot entries atom values. So it gives us our key and our value. Maybe not a list, actually. Yes, we need a list on the outside. Okay, so ooh. This is giving some gold at least. Does it take a secondary? So save this. Okay, something's missing. Well, actually, it's doing an implicit return, which I hate. So we're gonna get rid of that. And we're going to say that. What the fuck is on redo? Come on, Shift C. Yep. So fix up the styling and let's run this. So we're going to say clear you. Add magic key. Okay, we got our counter state. So now we're able to list out things. I'm trying to think something we could do a little bit more complex. Like we'll do a text input actually. Oh, the click outside worked. That was kind of nice. So let's add in a text atom. So we're gonna say, open our folder, create a new file, and we'll call this name.js. And so in here we're gonna say const. Actually, so import. Getting confused. We're gonna go to our atoms first. And we're gonna say name. Oh, Copilot, you're really helping me out. Name state, sweet. Go back to our name components. We're gonna say import. Use recoil value. Or is it use recoil state? Use recoil state. We're gonna say import. Not counter state. It's gonna be name state. Const name. That was pretty cool. Yeah, so we get a name, set name function from our atom with an on change for text input. So we can do export default name, go to our app, and in our app we can say name. Cool. And actually, Well, that's actually the cool thing. So with our selectors, you can get multiple values. So we're going to say const name equals get namestate, and then I can make this a string literal. Okay, let's look at what our state look like for that. Oh, I didn't actually increment the counter, so I can add this up. Open our modal again, so we can see our two things. This is the history of it. So I want to try out this JSON diff to see what it can do for us. So we installed it already. If we want to use it, we can do JSON diff. Yeah, ES6 is supported. So we'll grab this. We'll go back to our dev tools. And import it, and I'm trying to think how we do the diff. What's the diff every time? Let's play about with it to see how it works. String diff. After 1, after 2. I'm assuming previous and next. Yeah. So here, what we could do is say each time we, I'm gonna say const Adam diff equals near index. I'm running out of fucking sideward space in the code, but we'll manage sort of index. So we want to say actually so index equals, let's say not equal 0, because no point. Well, if you diff one, yeah, if it's not equal 0, diff values else return null, and this is going to be diff. It's going to be string diff, is it? Yeah, diff string, and we're going to say grab this. Well, actually, even better, we can say object dot values index -1. God, this is getting all over the place. And we're diffing that with, I guess, value. The values. Or null. So in here we can say Adam diff can't I find module assert. Can I install assert? I think I can just install assert. That might work. I'm waiting for it to start. Oh, my on there sign went off. Okay, let's give this a refresh. process is not defined. Bear. This probably doesn't work on the browser. Alex. So what's the console letter? Maybe a wee quick hack. Get this to work. Let's see, we'll do print React app. Maybe they'll do a quick workaround for this. No. We're going to go for look for a different package. So just search def. Diff characters. That's only different strings. I want diff an object. So we have just diff. Let me run this. I wonder if it has like a pretty print or something like that. Well, we can JSON stringify this and put it in a pre. I guess we could do that. Copy, I kill this. npm I just diff. We're going to go back to VS Code and we're going to replace this. We'll say diff is this, and then in here, could we get a pre in here? Diff, go for 2. Oh, it's null. And 2. Potentially we get something. I have to restart the server. Okay, so we're restarting. I need a different batch pack. So boop. And then both objects. Both must be objects or arrays. Console tools. Let's refresh this. And so increment our counter and our text, and then so that's an array. Let's make this bigger as well. So diff both values. So we inspect what our values are. So what's object index minus 1? That's undefined. What is our index? Our index is 0. Zero is not equal to 0. I guess I just did. Index is greater than 0. Okay, let's do this again. We'll just say save that, play this, rebuild, reload. Magic key must be both arrays. Right, let's try this again. So this, so if it's greater than 0, it should not error. Okay, that's fine. Come back in again. Oh, it's object of values, and I'm not even doing the right thing. So it should be object of values on atoms values index minus 1. Okay. Let this play. Continue. Reload. So get rid of this so we can add. Then change our text. Header magic key. Pre cannot appear as the descendant of a pre. I'll put the pre inside of a pre, am I? Oh, descendant of a p tag. Is that what? Do we need list text? Or can I just make this pre's? Do divs. We're gonna say span. Again, reload, add, type, magic key. Probably do some styling on this. We'll do some styling quickly, and I think I'll probably call it there. So, dentals, where's our box? Our box is this. Let's see. Here. So we get our JSON diff. So operation was replaced. The value was D. Was replaced with df. df blah, 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 so you can kind of see it increment. Yeah, it's add, replace, add. I don't know why it's fucking giving me operations. Yeah, it's not the best. We have something. I don't know if counter is null. It's because it's not an object or an array. I guess we can make it one, but I think we'll call there for the day. There's a lot of potential, a lot of ideas, but we can kind of get some sort of way of showing the state of all of our values. Maybe we could turn this into a table later after the fact. But thank you for everyone who came along for the journey. This potentially might be a little multi-part series because I do need something like this, and I do want to build it out and flesh it out. And I don't think like my usual like hour and a little bit time frame is enough to do the entire thing or get really deep into it. But we've made a good kind of scratch on the surface here. So I hope to catch you on the next one.